RP Kentucky, this is Candace. Are you guys okay?
The tornado occurred over the late evening of Friday, December the 10th, and the early morning hours of Saturday, December the 11th. Little did we know we would be waking up to one of the worst natural mass casualties in the state of Kentucky's history.
We learned pretty early that, that the tornado had touched down in Mayfield. Then, we heard of Dawson, which is in our area, and it kept going, of course, and hit the surrounding county of Muhlenberg. I headed up toward the hospital, and on my way here, received the call that, disaster protocol was in place and that we needed to get a radiologist on site as soon as possible. So I decided I was going to go ahead and call Dr. Rosner.
She said, we are a mass casualty unit here in Madisonville, Kentucky. We need all hands on deck. So I came in the hospital about 3:30 in the morning. We read exams after exams, and they're unusual exams. There was trauma. I saw an x-ray of a person with a big metal bar stuck in their back, all kinds of fractures. I read 104 cases between 3 o'clock in the morning and 10:30 in the morning. But it wasn't just for me reading. We have all our techs came in, and they were, the CT was going CT after CT after CT after CT, and the techs were going, but we covered it. I hope it doesn't happen again. But if it did happen again, I'd want to contribute like I just did.
So we got a call saying there's a possibility of a tornado. Go ahead and get everybody on alert. May have to come in. So I think I'd talked to you on my way, was coming down. So then I called a couple more people that I knew lived close that could do general x-ray and CT, because I knew that would be the majority of everything we did. We were more interested in getting patients scanned when I got here, so we started out with that first. Then it wasn't too long before we realized we couldn't send images. The internet was completely down because of the amount of polls that were down. There was nothing anybody could do. Well, we called Candace crying, going, we need help.
Donald got on the phone and he said, we need a ride. Internet is down. We cannot send out images. There's patients basically everywhere. So I told Donald, okay, we will get someone down there.
Muhlenberg was completely down. The amount of traumas coming through were, undescribable, and that they needed a radiologist for wet reads.
Dan called Dr. Tag, and without question, went to Muhlenberg County. He didn't ask any questions. He left his family at home to go help serve our community.
I was frightened, honestly, driving my car down in the storm. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if there were more tornadoes, but I went. Some heartbreaking stories as they told me about each one, and it just went like that all night. It seems like when they would bring someone to scan, I'd go to the x-ray and read those, and when they were x-raying people, I'd go back to CT and read the CTs. I guess I just knew that I was doing the right thing. I was doing my duty as a radiologist, and I felt like that's what I had to do to help my patients.
Through the morning hours, I'm at home and I'm watching the stat list just continue to grow. Having that radiologist presence, at the facility, that quick initial interaction is very beneficial. And I'm glad that Dr. Tag and Dr. Rosner were able to go on site. But for CORE, especially with the amount of radiologists that were not on site reading, the fact that those numbers that they read were able to be communicated almost as efficiently as a rad on site, it speaks volumes.
The advantage with RP is we have so many radiologists all over the nation that can pitch in to help at any moment, anytime, 24/7.
We are a team. We are always in touch with everybody in the sense what is happening. In this type of events, everything, I guess, becomes staff. But one of the things that you notice is always that within that is trauma. During that night, there was a lot of the trauma that you could see, on the films.
Matrix is wonderful to have. They called in radiologists from different practices to help our community. It means a lot.
It was great to have those outside doctors jump on the list and help Dr. Rosner, who was here for consultation reasons too. The orthopedic surgeons and the general surgeons and everybody were asking him about their patients. So it was taking time away from him reading the list, and he was able to focus on those patients that needed the extra care while the Matrix doctors were catching up the list.
If we had just been one local practice trying to handle all of this, we would not have been able to get results back in as timely a fashion as we were able to, working collectively through RP, which just speaks to the benefits of the scale and breadth of RP. It also brings to light one of our practice principles. We put our patients first. Our hospital health systems or clients obviously appreciated the on-site service, and everyone was willing to jump in and either go on site, take their Saturdays to read, staying extra hours in the morning to help accommodate the volume. So it was truly a teamwork and service. I mean, everyone stood out.
It is just a humbling experience to know that practices across the nation were helping our little community. And I think that's just one of the things that speaks loud about RP, is being able to come together and help the smaller communities that might not have that coverage otherwise.